So that blew up. I'm really impressed. Last night I was putting my daughter to sleep and decided to take 8 seconds of her ceiling, because she's got all those cool like stars and lights and everything, and it's kind of peaceful. And then, I put some text over for the Texas Democrats, and for someone who has 300 something followers, not even 400 followers, that thing has had 4,000 views on it. So thank you for everyone who has, put good comments and nice energy into the world and hearted it, and then for anyone who put any hate on that comment, I hope you get everything that you voted for.
Hello, friends. If you have not been keeping up with the news, the Texas Democrats have fled the state to prevent a quorum, prevent a vote, basically, in non-weird Texas politics language. Anyway, one of the things that you can do if you do not live in Texas is to participate in the Texas beef boycott. This is something that I saw just a minute ago. I reposted a couple of videos about it, and beef producers are huge in Texas, and a lot of them support Abbott. I'm also putting together a list of campaign contributors and supporters and financial investors for some Republicans. And Texans, I really hate to tell you this. I have not shopped here. I've not stopped here since I found out over a year ago. Buc-ee's, your beloved Buc-ee's, the owners are huge contributors to Greg Abbott. Stop going to Buc-ee's, y'all. The thing is money is the only thing that these assholes listen to. Now Abbott has issued arrest warrants for Texas Democratic House members who are not showing up, sitting in their seats and voting. And he is lying about it. Shocker. He's talking about, how they're not doing their duty to Texans. And the thing is they are absolutely doing their duty to Texans. This is a horribly gerrymandered state already. The state is far more purple than we ever appear on election results. And they're trying to make it worse. And they are trying to redistrict things mid-decade, which never happens and goes against policy. I'm not sure if it's actually technically illegal, but it goes against, everything that they do normally. And Abbott is just trying to get Trump's endorsement. He's up for re-election next year, and he's just licking some boots. So Texas beef boycott. I'm going to have some more companies to avoid in the state and outside of the state. And that's a great way for those of you who are tuning in outside of Texas to help us out. And I just want to say thank you so much. As a leftist, as a Democrat, as a progressive, however you want to call that, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for standing with us.
What happens when the blue cities in this country that consume most of the beef that the United States consumes each year get fed up with large beef producing red states trying to rig the system with gerrymandering and redistricting to save the House in the upcoming midterm elections? Well, the result is not going to be pretty for cattlemen, and I'm going to explain that to you today. Hey guys, my name's Will. This is the Back 40, and let's talk about it. Now, this video is going to upset quite a few cattlemen. Some of you are going to snicker. Some of you are going to deny that this is going to happen. But the truth is, it's already happening. There's a national movement underway right now, just at its beginning stages, to stop buying beef in order to punish Texas for what they're doing with gerrymandering. There's only one big glaring problem for cattlemen everywhere, and that is that the food supply doesn't delineate between beef raised in Texas and beef raised in other states. Unless you're buying directly off the farm, you don't know where your steak came from. So to pull this off, people in blue cities, that are tired of the games being played to prevent their votes from counting are going to punish all cattlemen by buying beef at lower rates altogether. First of all, let me throw some facts at you about beef consumption. Lest you think blue cities aren't responsible for the majority of beef consumption in this country, Hordes Dairyman pointed out a couple of years ago that out of the top 12 beef consuming cities in this country, 11 of those are overwhelmingly blue. You heard it here. Overwhelmingly blue. The fact is, blue cities, even in red states, blue cities are the primary consumers of beef. And the blue cities aren't happy. The bottom line is the president's underwater in every polling category that we measure. Even in immigration on the border, the president is double digits underwater. And all of the polling shows that the Democrats look really good in the next midterm election. Not only in the House, hell, the president's even made it close in the Senate, just like he did with his horrible policies during his first term. So what are the Republicans doing? Instead of changing their policies, coming up with new ideas, they're going to try to rig the system in the midterms by redistricting and gerrymandering in Texas and possibly other red states to make it nearly impossible for the Democrats to win enough blue seats to kick them out of the House. So very loudly over the past few days, there's been a national movement growing amongst Democrats and independents that don't support gerrymandering and rigging the system. And that movement is to stop buying beef. Now, we have a problem on social media. If you're on the blue side of the wall, you don't see much media from the right side on your FYP and vice versa. So if you're a Republican cattleman and you're on social media, odds are you may not have seen the movement that's unfolding out there. But the bottom line is there are a lot of people that are saying, I'm not buying beef anymore in order to punish the state of Texas. I get asked about it at least 30 to 40 times a day over the last 2 to 3 days, and the movement is only growing. Now, if you watched my video a few days ago, you know that the president just placed a 50% tariff on Brazil. And he did that to help out his buddy Bolsonaro down there. And it didn't exclude beef. So we've already got Brazilian beef coming in this market to drive down beef prices, increasing in price and driving up the price at the grocery stores. The net effect of that is already we were seeing a trend where the American consumer was moving away from beef to other proteins like poultry and pork just to save a little bit of money. Well, now they're fired up. They're sick and tired of the shenanigans. They're sick and tired of the games. And in blue cities across the country and in blue states across the country, they want to make their voice heard. And the way they want to do that is to stop buying beef. And the net result is cattlemen are going to see those per pound prices on the hoof drop. Now, Republican cattlemen, this next piece of information is directed directly at you. You can prevent this from happening. And the way you can do that is by picking up the phone and letting your elected red state representatives know that gerrymandering is wrong. Surely this is something that we can all agree on. In a state where the vote is split about 56% to 44%, can't we agree that there ought to be a balanced number of House members representing that state in the U.S. House of Representatives? Do we no longer believe in the Republic? Do we no longer believe in one person, one vote? Do we really support the shenanigans that are happening right now? Are we that buried in the gotcha moment that we're willing to sacrifice our own economic well-being in order to play games to keep control of the House? If we are, then we deserve whatever we get. That's the bottom line. But we can prevent it, and here's how we do it. First, we need to do something really unique in this country, and that is look out for our own best interest instead of the best interest of those people that have conned us. We need to be texting. We need to be calling. We need to be emailing. We need to be showing up in person to let these elected Republican officials in the state of Texas know that as Republican cattlemen, you don't support the gerrymandering move. And if you do that and you prevent it and you stop it from happening, you might be able to stop this national movement in its tracks. Or you have another option. You can laugh it off. You can snicker. You can post videos on TikTok saying how crazy Will is or making fun of the libs in the blue cities. And as you see those beef consumption rates go down and the prices drop in the grocery stores and the need for more beef off the hook disappear at the packer level, then don't be surprised when you see your prices drop. And just think about what that's going to mean. Just think about what that's going to mean. If you prevent this from happening by doing the right thing, the market tells us that if we can get the president to quit placing these stupid tariffs on foreign countries in the area of agriculture, we might have 2 or 3 more good years of high beef prices. Think of the equipment paid off, the cattle loans paid off, the kids we can send to college, the medical bills that we can pay off. Cattlemen have been waiting for a long, long time. I got out of it before it got good. You haven't. Save it. Keep it rolling. Keep it going by putting politics aside and calling the Republicans that you elected in the state of Texas to tell them that what they're doing is wrong. If you don't do that and they move ahead and they do what it looks like they're going to do, then don't blame the Democrats in blue cities when you see that per pound price drop.
So these lame-ass Texas Democrats want us to boycott beef. Huh? Beef? Texan with no beef? Oh, you might as well just pack your bags and move out, because you don't belong here. I don't care how expensive it is. You ain't gonna separate a Texan from his beef. You know, these liberals are ruining our motherfucking state. And I think it's time we boycott they ass. Home of the best barbecue in the world, and you think we just gonna let that shit go? Because it's a little too expensive? Shit, you better get another job. Because I'm eating my damn brisket. You best believe that. I'm so sick of these liberals. Make me want to throw up. You know, there is just some things you ain't gonna be able to separate a Texan from. And that's a good pair of cowboy boots, his guns, and his Texas country music. And definitely not his beef or his beer. I mean, if you like your party so damn much, you should have went with him. Should have went to Chicago and made it a motherfucking one-way ticket. Because us Texans are fine around here.
Hey, so did you hear about the whole thing going on about the gerrymandering in Texas? You know, where Republicans are now trying to gerrymander the entire state of Texas so that it would then be able to get into their advantage for Republican votes. And how Democratic Texas representatives are now trying to leave the state so then they don't have to then vote on it. If you don't have time to watch this video in full, just go into the search bar, type in Texas Beef Boycott. That's Texas Beef Boycott. Now, I don't personally have much information on this, but I will tag people who have explained what it is and what we're gonna do about it. What it basically is that a bunch of companies in Texas have a big lobbying scheme on beef and meat products. And they use that money that they lobby in order to then give it to politicians so that they would then vote in their favor. Now, if you're not from the state of Texas, just like I am, we can still help people who are in Texas, who are not in agreement of gerrymandering districts in order for Republicans to have more votes to then vote on things that would only be in their favor. I'll also direct you to a YouTube video that explains the whole situation in full detail for those who want to be educated on this. We need to start taking a stance as people, as a whole group, and let politicians know that no, we will not let you gerrymander the state just for you to get more votes. And we're going to do so by hitting them where it hurts, which is their pockets.
So I want to talk more about the video that I posted yesterday about the Texas Democrats who fled the state and who are now getting bomb threats at the hotel that they were staying at. I know gerrymandering is not illegal. What I meant was what the Texas Republicans are doing is illegal. They are suppressing the voice of thousands of Texans who are brown and black. And it is a direct attack on the Voting Rights Act, which is illegal. And if you cannot comprehend that, then you clearly are very tone deaf of what is really going on in the state of Texas. Donald Trump called the state of Texas to get in 5 more white conservative seats so they can continue to hold the majority. They do not want any black or brown representation in Congress, in the Senate. They don't want to see it. And they don't want brown, black, and women to continue to vote. We need to keep speaking about this and speaking out about it. Because what the MAGA party knows that remapping the state of Texas is not going to stand. It's not going to work. But they're trying to push it and get it out anyway. All because Donald Trump made a phone call to Governor Hot Wheels.
Have you guys noticed that if you mention Texas in any way, shape, or form, especially in a negative light, the MAGA conservatives, they go apeshit? Take, for example, this Boycott Texas beef campaign going on. These mother truckers are crushing the truck out. You should go check out some of these comments. They are funny. Hilarious.
Liberals are now boycotting Texas beef. You want to know why? You want to know why? Oh, because a bunch of Democrats that were elected Democrats in the state of Texas hold seats in office in Texas, in Austin, and they decided not to show up for work. They're just not cooperating. They're not doing their job. And so Texas, Paxton decided, and Governor Abbott decided, well, I guess if you're not going to show up for work, you're just not going to work here, buddy. And, you know, it is what it is. That's Texas for you. If you're not going to show up and do your job, cool. But now liberals on TikTok are like, we're going to boycott Texas beef to show Texas what for. First of all, have you ever even checked to see, like, have you ever looked at a package of ground meat and been like, oh, this is from Texas? Like, you purposely bought Texas beef before, as if. And you know who that hurts, right? Texas farmers.
Clock in disruptors, a new assignment just dropped. Before we even get into it, I need you to boost this signal by engaging from the bottom up. You're gonna copy link, and then I want you to comment, boycott Texas beef. Then I want you to take that same term, boycott Texas beef, and throw it in the search bar above. Here's the deal. As we all know, Texas Republicans are trying to gerrymander to rig the contest in the future. So we are gonna hit back with a boycott of Texas beef. That means no Nolan Ryan, no 4-6 Ranch, no Texas raised beef. Period. If you see the term Texas raised beef on store shelves or in restaurants, you're gonna skip it. We're not giving them our dime. I'm gonna break the full list down of companies that we're boycotting over on my Substack and provide a list of alternatives that you can go for. But the assignment is simple. Boycott Texas raised beef. Bonus points if you contact them by calling or emailing and let them know why you're not gonna be buying their products anymore. Remember, disruption works when we do it together. As always, we are Mayday, and Mayday will rise.
How can we put pressure on Texas to not redistrict their congressional districts? Jess Craven had a fantastic suggestion, and I encourage everyone to do it, and that is to boycott beef. Unless, of course, you can be certain it doesn't come from Texas. The Texas beef industry is a huge industry and an important part of the Texas economy. Much of the red meat people in the United States consume comes from Texas. And since the Republicans in Texas won't listen to reason or appeals to their better nature, let's hit them where it hurts, their wallets. And the beef industry in Texas donates heavily to Republicans in Texas. So if they feel the pressure from consumers, then maybe they'll put some pressure on Republicans. So unless you can be certain that your beef is locally sourced, take a break from eating red meat for a little while. It'll do your heart good, and with rising prices at the grocery store, it's also good for the wallet.
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays, it's Ashley here, and I am asking you to please stand in solidarity with Texas Democrats and join the Texas beef boycott. Why are we doing this? Well, we know that boycotts work, and we also know that unfortunately, the Republicans and fascists only speak one language, and that is money. So, what I want you to do, go to my video right down here, and I want you to comment Texas beef boycott. I also want you to go to the search bar up here and search Texas beef boycott. And please, if you feel so inclined, make a video of your own for the Texas beef boycott. Last but certainly not least, boycott eating beef. Be very intentional about where you purchase your groceries from. You know, we kind of, you know, kicked Target in the gonads when they tried to pull some BS with us, and they messed around and found out, and they lost a lot of money and came with their tail between their legs saying sorry. Was it enough to get them to, I don't know, reverse course? No, but it got their attention, and we need to use the power of our wallets to save democracy and to fight fascism. So if you are all for supporting some badass Democrats who are actually doing something, thank God. This is something, a really easy ask that you can do. It'll only take you likely less than 5 minutes of your time. All right, stay cool. I'll see you later.
Mark my words, the Texas Democrats will go down in the history books as the first group of elected officials to stand up to this current administration. And I feel very strongly about that because they all got together, got on an airplane, said, we are not dealing with this illegal bullshit, and fled the fucking state. And not only that, but no matter how many threats Trump makes, how many threats Abbott makes, how many bomb threats are getting called into their hotel, they don't care. They don't care. It is not scaring them. They are standing on what they believe. They are standing up for their constituents. And this is the first time we have seen a group of elected officials do that since Trump has taken office for his second term. And I am like, I can't even begin to explain to you how proud I am of those Democrats, how proud I am, how happy I am that those people are standing up for not only their constituents in Texas, but they are setting a much larger precedent for the Democrats, for the country, for the ability to get together with other Democrats and actually stand up to this administration. If the Texas state Democrats can do that, then the other Democrats can do that too. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? They will go down on actually starting something and actually standing up to this administration. And I really, really hope that others follow suit at this point because they have started it. They have started, their foot is on the gas. Everybody else has to come and help now because they started it.
You want to fight alongside the Democrats against what Texas is doing? Do this. Please type Texas Beef Boycott into the comment section. If the Texas Republicans want to go against the people will show them how we fight back. In 2022, beef revenue produced $15.5 billion for the state of Texas. And what many might not know is that the beef that comes from Texas is its largest share of the Texas agricultural revenue. Cattle sales in the state of Texas accounts for $3.88 billion to the Texas GDP. So if Texas wants to cheat, Texas should pay that price. And no matter what Texas does, the people are the ones who really hold the power. Your buying power is amazingly important. So let's show them just how impactful we can be. Work together, and it's gonna take everyone. So spread the word.
So I just finished eating my chicken tacos because why? Because we're gonna do a Texas beef boycott, okay? If you don't know about the Texas beef and how much revenue they generate from their beef, go look it up. Get in that search bar and check it out. But here's the thing. If those people want to act up and do stuff they're not supposed to, let's hit them where it hurts. Let's hit them in their wallets. So let's support the Texas Democrats. And if you're in a blue state, get ready, buckle up because it's coming. But support this initiative. Go ahead and type it in the comments. Texas Beef Boycott. Okay? To me, this is one of the biggest messages we can send, okay? You don't have to get out there and do all kinds of things and risk, your safety and your health and all of that. But if we can really get to them where it matters most, that's what we need to do. So go ahead and eat that chicken, okay? Go ahead and eat that chicken.